From a remote field covered in strange stones to unbelievable geological formations, here are 13 mysterious places in Southeast Asia. Number 13. The ruins of Wat Phra Wat, Laos. In the rainforest of the Southeast Asian country of Laos, a mysterious Buddha tends to come out of nowhere and has astonished tourists. The building it was once housed in was bombed in the 1960s, and very few remnants of the building remain. But miraculously, this Buddha managed to escape uncracked. It looks like it's missing its right eye, but the majority of the statue is unbroken. It's believed to have been built in the 1400s and was spared during a Chinese invasion as well as a Cambodian Indochina invasion. The right arm was nearly severed, but it was soon rebuilt, and this Buddha seems to be nearly invincible. Locals don't have a ton of money to completely restore him, but they are hoping that tourist donations will lead to its preservation. Number 12. Angkor Wat. When you think of iconic buildings in Southeast Asia, probably the only building that really comes into mind is the temple complex known as Angkor Wat. Located in northwestern Cambodia, this temple was originally built as a temple to the god Vishnu in the Hindu religion. But as Buddhism began to spread, it gradually transformed into a Buddhist retreat. It's regarded to this day as a very traditional site for followers of both religions, and you might even see some dancers like you see here. This massive complex takes up 4 square kilometers and used 500 million tons of sandstone. Over 300,000 workers accompanied by 600 elephants were needed to construct this wonder sometime around the end of the 12th century AD. It was built by King Suryavarman II of the Khmer Empire, and as he passed away, it served as his mausoleum. Number 11. Tamla Sap. This freshwater lake in Cambodia is connected to the Mekong River Delta and is known to expand and contract quite often. It has a wide ecosystem that's recently been protected under UNESCO. What's strange about this lake is that people actually live right over it instead of building on the banks of the lake. Otherwise, it's very likely that any village would become flooded. It's one of the most inhabited lakes, and fishermen can make a decent living from the abundance of fish found here. During monsoon season, there can be so much rainpour that it causes the lake to flow backwards, making it swell to more than 5 times its normal size. Number 10. The Shwedagon Pagoda. Considered to be the most sacred building in the country of Myanmar, this high-rising pagoda contains priceless Buddhist relics, and it's believed that this was actually built sometime between the 6th to 10th century AD. Some claim it to be even older and believe that construction began in 600 BC. It's been damaged by several earthquakes and storms throughout the ages, but the pagoda manages to rise an amazing 325 feet. Covered in golden paint, it looks as though it's some type of mythical place explorers are searching for. The historical site is commonly visited by locals and tourists for various reasons. However, one of the most enduring mysteries of Asia is said to be a bell that was once used here. It apparently contained 300 tons of pure silver, gold, and copper. What happened to it still remains a mystery. Some claim that Portuguese explorers looted it, but with all that metal, the boat sank in one of the nearby rivers. Many still search for the mythical bell at the bottom of the Bago River. Number 9. Changi Beach. Changi Beach has a dark history, and many are curious whether or not there are still souls from the past lingering around here. Changi Beach Park is completely surrounded by urbanization and is one of the oldest coastal parks in Singapore. But 2 places in particular here have gained notoriety for having a supernatural presence. There is the abandoned Changi Hospital, which the Japanese supposedly used to keep prisoners when the Japanese Empire was spreading across Southeast Asia. There's an abandoned beach house also not too far away from the shore. These places are rumored to be some of the most haunted parts of Asia. Many people who stay at the beach house report the strange feeling of always being watched, waking up with scars, hearing women wail, and seeing ghosts while they're taking showers. Who knows what the spirits here are capable of? Number 8. Kelimutu Lake. Located near the small town of Moni, Indonesia, this lake is located in the center of a volcanic crater, but it manages to change colors quite often. There's a cluster of bizarre lakes in the area, and they can go from bright blue to dark green or even red. This is due to minor eruptions of the volcano, which cause the lake to change its composition. The sunrise or sunset can cause the lakes also to radically change colors, and it's become a popular tourist attraction in this country. The lake is considered to be sacred to the locals, and it's even featured on Indonesia's 5,000 rupiah banknote. However, these lakes aren't easy to reach due to the fact that they're all located at such a high elevation. Number 7. Hong Son Doong. The world's largest and most mysterious cave is the Hong Son Doong cave system in Vietnam. It's over 150 meters high in some points and stretches at least 5 kilometers. It's so massive that it actually has its own jungles inside and an underground river. Mist and water vapor can actually seep into the cave where it can create rain clouds. Visitors here often notice a huge difference in temperature. This wasn't even discovered until 1991 when a farmer began to stay inside the cave during storms. The photo we see here shows a daring cave explorer to the right enter with a rope into a section known as the Garden of Eden. This is one of the jungles inside the Hang Sung Dune Cave. Making a reservation to this place certainly isn't easy, and it could cost you a few $1,000s to even enter. Number 6. Grossberg Mine. Located in the highest mountain in Papua New Guinea, is not only the world's largest gold mine, but also the 3rd largest copper mine in the world. It's also a decent producer of silver. It has a total workforce of 19,500 workers. Does Grossberg sound like an Indonesian name to you? No, that's because it's run by a corporation that's not Indonesian. There's been a lot of environmental concern over this mine considering the fact that it's on top of a mountain and rainfall can lead to contamination of areas at the bottom of the mine. Some people feel as though the mine is not nearly as profitable for the people of Papua New Guinea as it should be, and all it really does is pollute their land. This produced 862,000 ounces of gold in 2012, meaning over $1 billion, and only a minuscule fraction of that is actually given to the workers. Number 5. Batu Caves. Located near the capital city of Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, the Batu Caves offer a mysterious vibe of mystical and spiritualism. But you also won't forget about the natural beauty here. It's here you'll find a series of caves and Hindu temples throughout, and the shrines have become popular among the followers of this religion outside of India, but also for tourists looking to learn more about this place. The limestone caves found in this area are roughly 400 million years old, and they've been used by local indigenous people for shelter. Outside the opening of this cave, you'll find the world's tallest statue of the Hindu deity known as Murugan, which is coated with gold paint. This mysterious cave hosts a wide variety of wildlife, and it's common to see macaque monkeys near the shrines. Some legends tell tales of demons once inhabiting these caves, who were defeated by the character depicted in the golden statue. Number 4. The Plain of Jars. The name pretty much describes this place, located in the Southeast Asian country of Laos. Most of it's flat, but occasionally there's a hill. And oh yeah, there's lots of ancient jars too. Over 2,000 to be exact. No one knows who left them or what they were used for. Some theorize the jars were used for making various forms of rice wine, but the true answer has yet to be solved. Local legends talk about there being a race of giants who once inhabited this area, which would almost make sense due to the fact that there's a bunch of giant jars everywhere. Others believe it's a crematorium after some ashes were discovered. However, there weren't enough jars like this to determine that that's what they were used for. But could it be true that these jars have been here a long time and were once used by giants like the local legends state? Number 3. The Islands of Thailand. As you're cruising through places in Southeast Asia, you may come across a few mysterious-looking islands that seemingly form from nowhere. Thailand is home to many unique geological wonders that are surrounded by sapphire blue waters. This includes the famous James Bond Island, which is a limestone cliff that seemingly defies all laws of gravity. The waters can turn green here, and it seems like the perfect place for James Bond to hide out at. Another one is known as Chicken Island, which is found in the Krabi province of Thailand. From different points of view, one might think it's a giant chicken swimming around in the ocean. The dense vegetations and various dangerous creatures on this island might keep people from making mysterious discoveries. Number 2. Chocolate Hills of Philippines. This famous tourist attraction consists of bizarrely shaped hills on the middle of the island of Bohol in Philippines. Here you'll find over 1,200 uniquely shaped land masses which are spread for an area of 50 square miles. You'd also want to maybe believe that they were made from chocolate, but sorry to disappoint you. What's also interesting about this place is the abundance of fossils that were found here. Many prehistoric ocean creatures such as coral, algae, and various mollusks were discovered. It was formed from the uplift of coral deposits millions of years ago, but local legends claim otherwise. The locals also believe it's a result of giants throwing stones and heaving large amounts of sand at each other. After the fight was over, the giants became friends. Whatever the true case may be, it's a place that many have found to be quite mysterious. And number 1, the Sacred Boulder. This boulder not only defies gravity, it's a sacred religious location in Myanmar and is said to be placed on top of a strand of Buddha's hair. The gold-colored boulder dangles mysteriously over a cliff, which makes it look like it's about to fall at any moment. This is also a pilgrimage site for Burmese Buddhists who will engage in meditations with lights and candles and sing. Legend has it that those who visit it 3 times a year will be blessed with wealth, as well as acknowledgement of their goodness. Only male Buddhists are allowed to touch the rock and place a golden leaf as a sign of their faith. Visitors also get a great view of the valley below, and it seems like a truly mysterious place to visit.